Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to announce the Smooth Sack Summer is officially upon us. When you're playing in that summer sun, make sure you're groomed from pubes to bum.
Thanks to our friends at Manscaped, you can make this season your smoothest yet. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate bundle to keep your boys downstairs cool while looking hot. Join the 10 million plus men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com and use code Lyrical.
Summertime and the trimming's easy. Get it.
Go get that.
If you are unfamiliar with what a snake draft is, you can pause your screen here and check it out.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Lyrical Lemonade 2. This is the Snake Draft. My name's Jake. This is actually my first episode here, so it's great to meet you all. Today's episode, we're focusing on the greatest TV series of all time. With the first pick of the draft, we got Parker.
I'm going to have to go with Sopranos. Ooh.
I've never watched it.
Still haven't watched it.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah, no, it's fucked up. It's supposed to be a classic, but I just haven't
I
made my way there yet.
I hadn't watched it for the first time until like probably 2 years ago, and since then watched it, I think twice all the way through.
Joe, have you seen that? I only know like the memes. I've seen like random episodes just on YouTube. Like,
I mean, bro, it's
just like the big
it's
stuff.
iconic.
It's like yeah, that's like an obvious. First.
I mean, I just had to get that out the way. Tony Soprano, like,
Gabagoo.
got like the greatest display of
Where's
like
my fucking gabagoo?
the greatest TV villain of all time. Like the blueprint for this shit. R.I.P. James Gandolfini. Not much more to say about The Sopranos. Move on to the second.
Solid pick.
Nathan, for you.
Damn.
God damn it, I had that on mine.
Yeah.
That was-
if you haven't seen it,
Yeah, you
I don't know.
spaz.
Yeah,
It's a certain type of humor, but this shit's fire.
I did not think that was going first round.
That's really good. That I expected that like a third pick maybe.
I was banking on a fourth round, Nathan, for you.
I had to
me.
claim that one.
That was a good one.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say,
Have you,
all
Joe?
the-
You've never seen that.
I've watched Nathan for you because
I've made Joe watch
He
it.
made me
Oh,
watch
okay.
it,
Dude,
It's gonna be
Nathan-
like 3 against 1 here, but I personally it doesn't really like hit for me.
Yeah,
like,
you just don't have good humor.
No. I got good humor, no ice cream.
Jeez, exactly. Nathan,
Wait,
for you though, have you seen the last episode of that series where he's like helping the guy find the love of his life, and
Bill.
then Nathan just like randomly starts kicking it with a hooker for the whole episode? So good.
The Bill
Trying to fall
Gates
in love.
impersonator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That guy's the best.
That
Hell
shit is
of
so
a
good.
show.
Every single lady he encounters, he's trying to like hit on her.
It's so good.
He makes that one girl that he's like that is like auditioning for something, like say I love you to him like 30 times.
Oh my god, when he does the hunk.
Oh, was it for
I don't know if
that?
it was that one, but that's a great episode. When
The
he made
hunk is
everybody
incredible.
climb through in a suit in that TV store to get the free TV or the dollar TV.
Oh, and there's an alligator guard.
And there's an alligator at the end of it. It's insane.
I will
That's a
say the
classic.
Starbucks episode was really good. The
Dumb Starbucks.
dumb Starbucks.
It's
That
also
was-
crazy
that was a
because
good
if you look up
Like, he
things
actually
from
did all
Nathan
that
For You,
shit,
he
yeah.
really did that stuff.
Yeah.
Even like I remember when that video went viral of the goat saving the pig or vice versa.
that was like
And
a
it was like
real
a
thing.
huge viral
Yeah.
video,
And then
but
it
it
came
turns
out on
out
Nathan For You.
Yeah, it's insane.
He made them all walk
And
to the top of the mountain.
When he
for free
went
gas.
on Jimmy Kimmel, was it Kimmel that he went on? And he like planned the whole thing.
Yeah, the
out.
whole fake.
Yeah. Incredible, man. He's a genius. Social experiment genius.
Yeah.
One of the best to ever do it. Incredible TV show. Great pick, George. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
a great first pick.
Well, with the third pick of the draft,
We all know what it's gonna be.
going with the greatest TV show of all time, South Park. It's just I've been watching it since I was a kid. I have South Park Satan and Jesus tattooed on me. Just overall, probably my favorite show of all time. I think I could flip that on at any time of the day, any time of the night, and just enjoy
Absolutely.
myself any episode.
Fall
Daniel and I
asleep
were
to it.
watching it last night.
I was too.
South Park's a classic. You could just throw that one on.
Fall
Yeah, and
asleep to
still
it.
to this day, they're like one of the only TV shows that could literally do whatever the fuck they want. Everyone's like, it's South Park. They can do
Yeah.
it.
How many seasons are they on? 27?
26.
27 no, actually 28 because it came out the same year I was born.
I thought that I'm pretty sure they haven't put out season 27 yet. I'm almost positive because they've done like specials that like they'll count as like a season, like on HBO, like on Max or whatever. But
Should I go- should I go?
26. I was right. Yeah, 26.
All I know is it's been running since 97.
They skipped a season during the
COVID,
pandemic.
yeah.
They just put out one
they did,
episode.
facts.
The pandemic special.
Yeah.
Real quick, because like the people watching don't know this, but we all know this. But you get to work really closely with the South Park people. What's that like?
Yeah, so working with the South Park guys, when we did that Juice and Corday video for the album, all of the deep fake in that video, not a lot of people know, is a company called Deep Voodoo, is actually started by the guys of South Park. From that, got to build a cool relationship with those guys. One of my favorite gifts I've ever been given is a picture of myself with Cartman, Kyle,
Yeah, you just showed me
Kenny.
today. That shit is so crazy.
And it's me as
Throw
a
it
South
on- we can
Park.
throw it on the
It's me as a
screen,
South
yeah,
Park
yeah.
character, and I just hope at some point I just am watching South Park and I just see myself in there. That'd be a dream come true.
With the socks hat.
We made him
Yeah.
the life-size carton with the characters all over it. It looks like that one.
The minions
We
one.
should have made 2 of those. We need one.
I know. I
Do
can
you-
get another one.
Do you remember when they told us about how they like make the episodes like, and they're like literally writing stuff like day of?
Yeah, there's a whole documentary, like mini documentary on it, where it's showing
It's
how
called
they
like
make
1
it.
week to air. Like
Yeah,
6
they
weeks
make
to
the
So
air.
whole
good.
episode in 1 week, and it's just them in that boardroom going absolutely fucking crazy for a week straight, no sleep, getting the episode out, buzzer beaters every time. You gotta love it. All right, Joe, let's see what you got.
Jake's over here trying to screen cheat, but I'm gonna go with
promise I'm not
Entourage. It's my favorite show. I'm
fucking
watching
knew it,
it
dude.
right now for the second time. I kind of like bounce around between episodes because it's so good. There's a lot of like just relatableness in it, and it's like so cool. You start to see things and you're like, man, like especially like if you spend a lot of time out in LA, you'll see like, oh, like I know exactly where that building is. We were taking a meeting like a few weeks ago, and I was like, we were in that building. Like it's pretty crazy. But Ari Gold, hilarious, the goat.
That is one of the best characters of all time.
It is fun working in that space and watching the TV show, and like just everything's
There's
so
a lot of, like,
relatable, and you're like, oh wow,
relatable
that
films,
agency
yeah.
does suck. They got this spot on. They are
Yeah.
kind of scrubs.
There's definitely a lot of relatability in that show.
Joe, have you watched the entire series? Have
Yeah.
you even seen every episode?
Yeah, I've seen every episode. I'm on
The
I'm,
movie?
I'm rewatching it right now with Cole. I watched the movie. I actually watched the movie
Okay.
before I watched Entourage.
What do you think
which is
about the movie?
Dude, so I watched the movie again recently because the movie was the first thing I ever saw.
Right.
The movie was kind of like
I feel like it didn't need to be. It didn't need to be a thing.
it didn't really hit. And
It pushed the buttons.
Yeah.
It didn't blow me out.
And they just kind of like took the whole like, oh, like the cool part about Entourage to me was like how like calculated they were with like their cameos.
Yeah.
Like it worked really well and like just added to like the episode where that Kanye and Don C are in
Yeah.
when they're trying to get the jet or
Yeah,
whatever.
so good.
Like it just fit like
said,
perfectly.
make sure you ask for a massage.
Yeah. He said he's like I'm gonna fly this thing out of here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like the movie that just like over
Cameo over.
cameoed and
I didn't
How
realize
long
all
did the
cameos.
movie come out after the show ended?
the show ended in 2014, I think. And I think the movie came out in 2016 or 2017.
Oh, so like the people wanted it.
Yeah, and also people like people that were like watching Entourage. Like my mom was watching Entourage like as it was coming out, and the general consensus was that people did not like the last season and like how it ended. I liked it. I thought it was cool, but
Yeah, it kind of dragged, and like the cameos weren't as good. I could see how people would want to be like, what happened after they all get on the plane
right
or whatever.
And it's just Vince. It's like, oh yeah, we got divorced.
I need to go back and rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a few years, and I know
Dude,
all you guys are watching it
hits.
again.
It hits.
And like
the
I'm starting to
second go
forget
around.
some of the jokes
Yeah.
because it's been so long. I got to go back and watch
Dude,
it.
what his brother Jimmy? Is that his name, Jimmy?
No.
Viking Quest.
Viking
Jimmy,
Quest guy.
Jim. It's not Jim. Why am I thinking Jimmy?
Oh, you talking
Drama?
about like his
Drama.
actor name?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, Jim.
I don't know where Jimmy just came
Yeah,
from.
no.
Drama's a legend.
Drama E, and then you got Vince
And
then
Turtle.
Turtle.
Turtle's
Turtle's Big A.
100%.
100%. Turtle's Big A.
Big
Pop a picture of Big A right here.
And
Yeah.
next to Turtle.
Who are you, Joe? Who are all 4 of us as Entourage characters?
That's the thing, because like
I don't know, dude.
there's a lot of like parables, but there's only like 4 main characters, and it's like
Yeah.
it's hard to.
I feel like I take certain qualities from each of them. Like Drama always makes
Yeah.
breakfast. I always make breakfast. Yeah, E always drives. I always drive.
I thought Turtle always.
Turtle's the driver. Turtle guy, man.
Turtle always drives. I always drive.
I like Drama's arc because it's like a crash out to like just kind of riding the coattails of his of his baby bro,
Yeah.
and then like at the end of the movie,
baby bro.
at the
So
at the end of the
weird.
movie, like he wins like the Golden Globe. It's like
Yeah.
it's a perfect
That's
ending
so
for just
sick.
like
Legend.
a meathead character.
Turtle ends up the richest one.
Yeah.
Facts.
Great
Entourage,
show.
great pick, Joe.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now
First
hell
Joe,
of- hell of a
Joe
pick.
goes again.
Joe, you go again. What's your next pick?
So
First pick of the second round.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, great TV show. One of my favorite shows as a kid. I probably shouldn't have watched this show as a kid, but Degrassi. I actually watched Degrassi. I knew who Drake was before everybody else. You guys can say what you want. That show was insane as a kid. Watching
Why
it as a
shouldn't
kid.
you have watched that as a kid?
Bro, it's like dark. Like the shit that happens in that show. Go back and watch Degrassi. And
I've never watched.
I was
Degrassi.
like
This
8
is
years
the- I
old
didn't-
watching that show.
I've
That
only,
show
I was not
I've only
expecting
seen.
that.
I remember when Drake was like popping off, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the dude from Degrassi."
He gets shot in
He
the
gets
ass?
shot. He gets shot.
I was gonna
He's
say,
in a
that's the
wheel.
only
He ends
clip
up in
I've
a
ever seen.
wheelchair. That episode itself is really intense. That they were building that character.
Best
like
shows
that
of all
whole
time?
Season. It's one of my. It's
the second best TV show of all time in his book.
It's in my book. It's my second best in my book.
Yeah, I don't think.
Special connection.
Have
to that
any of
show.
you guys watched?
You guys can
Degrassi?
hate.
Not
I don't-
really.
I feel you. Like having an emotional attachment to it, but I don't
Yeah.
think I'll ever watch.
That would've been a
Degrassi.
great-
My girlfriend
show.
likes. My
Crazy
girlfriend
show.
liked it a lot.
Watch it as a kid. Great show. Maybe even might rewatch it as an adult.
Well,
All right.
Solid
let's
pick.
breeze
That's
past
fine.
that one because no one know what the hell happens in Degrassi. But the second round of the second or a second pick of the
Second
second
pick.
round. You know, this one I might be able to get a little later, but it's just so close to me that I'm gonna have to go with Eastbound and Down.
Ooh,
you
that's
know,
a good one.
huge baseball fan. My dad put me onto that show when I was a kid. Now that's a show I should not have been watching as a kid. It's a little
It's
bit of
not that
everything.
bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
off
He
the
just,
rip,
he just says crazy stuff.
He says crazy stuff. There's boobs. There's
Lots of
cocaine.
boobs.
There's all types of shit, man. It's a great show, though. It's just such a great, hilarious story of, you know, a guy falling off the top of the world. And
big crash out.
one of the biggest
The
and
best
greatest crash outs of all time, and also not accepting that he's a crash out.
So he just rises back to the top.
And at the very end, even through every season, he ends up back on top, and he always finds a way to crash out again, and then end up on top again. And you just gotta love it. One of the funniest guys of all time. I'm a huge Eastbound and Down fan. That's my pick.
Great pick.
That's a good one.
Danny McBride, the GOAT.
Danny, and also that just catapulted such a great career for Danny McBride.
Absolutely.
Everything he's in, he shines in so hard, even if he's not a major character.
Yeah.
Like even I don't know if it was before Eastbound and Down or right after, right around the same time. I know the first movie he was in was Tropic Thunder. He
Incredible.
plays the dynamite guy in there,
Yeah.
and he's fucking electric, man. That guy's the best.
Side note: Will Ferrell's character in Eastbound and Down.
So good.
Oh,
incredible.
iconic.
Ashley Schaefer,
Yeah.
Asher Safer BMW.
one of the best.
Say it.
Say it. One of
Go.
the greats.
Another one where all three of you guys love the show. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, hated it.
Hey man, you stick to the
You didn't
Degrassi,
like
right?
Eastbound and Down? Oh, yeah, you like Degrassi.
It's Degrassi, not
Jesus.
Degrassi.
My bad.
Third pick
Third
of the
pick.
second round.
I'm going to go with
Oh, yeah,
Freaks
yeah.
and Geeks.
Spazzed.
Seth Rogen,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it like started
Jason
all
Segel,
Yeah.
Franco.
Only one season, right?
Yep, only one season. They canceled it, and then it like sparked all their careers.
That's a great one. I've
Yeah.
I've watched it once. I need to go back and rewatch it. I was so young when I watched it, but it is a
I've-
great show.
Yeah, I've only watched it once too. I just why did they cancel? It just wasn't getting the ratings.
It was on some network. There's a documentary on it. No, it's like a series of documentaries, and they have like an episode, and it explains how like Judd Apatow like made the show, and then they gave him like a shitty hour during the day, so the ratings
Just
were
didn't
really
get it,
bad and
yeah.
just wasn't hitting. But like the show's really.
I feel like that's one of the ones where the show got way bigger years down the
exactly.
line.
And he like after it got canceled, he like had a vendetta against like the industry to like make everyone in that show super famous.
The show is great. I don't want to take away from that, but the impact of that show and breaking out
Absolutely.
all of those massive stars.
it builds that like
Exactly.
cult
You know what?
audience to it.
I'll accept that in the second round. Good pick.
This might be crazy. I'm gonna go with Better Call Saul.
Oh,
Great show.
Hey,
Great show.
Saul,
got one
he
of
went
mine.
to my high school, Naperville
Yeah,
North.
he's from Chicago.
Naperville legend.
Slippin' Jimmy.
Great show.
A fellow Husky.
Yeah.
I personally like Better Call Saul. This might be a hot topic here, but Better Call Saul I like more than Breaking Bad.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I was going to
No, that's
segue
hands
into.
down.
Yeah.
It makes Breaking Bad a better show.
Yeah.
And you guys are about to fry me up, but I have not watched Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. I
You
tried
would
to
have
watch
to.
the
You would
first
like
2
it a
episodes
lot.
of Breaking Bad. I thought it was kind of
it's-
boring and
it's
fell
slow.
off.
It's slow.
bro, you're tweaking. You didn't watch Better
Hey man, let's worry about the grass and Joe.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, you should.
I do have to watch it
Great
though. I'm
show.
fucking up. I will watch it at some point.
Bob Odenkirk, who plays Saul Goodman, or Slippin' Jimmy, or whatever you want to call him. One of the best actors of all time, in my opinion. Like, I don't think he's ever won an award for.
I don't know.
He's
off the
got-
top of my
I
head,
know
but if
it's
he
like
hasn't,
a-
That's why.
He's had
It's like-
nominations.
It's like a big thing that like he gets snubbed every year, and
Yeah.
like after Better Call Saul was like officially wrapped, he was up for the award again. Didn't get it, and it's like it just fits. Like it's fucked up that he didn't get it, but it like fits like
the lore.
the lore of his character so well, because it's like the whole time it's just him like, you know, like hungry and like struggling this whole time, to him like rising to be like, in my opinion, like one of the best villains like in TV of all time. But it's like you feel for him the whole time just because they do such a good job of like, you know, making you love this
that show is
piece of
good.
shit guy. Like it's
Parker
so
is
good,
huge on the villains in this episode.
bro. I mean, it's like that's what you know, that's the shit I can get into, where it's like it's, you know, it's like dark and like it's shot well, and like, you know, you feel like emotion for each character, like whether or not like they end up playing a big role. It's like, I don't know. I can't think of the dude's name that did Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, but that dude's
What's his
legend.
name? I was about to ask.
George Vincent Gilligan Jr.
Yeah, Vince Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan.
Absolutely.
I didn't know his
fucking
first name was
legend.
George.
3rd round, kick us off.
Third round, first pick, back to me. I'm gonna go with BoJack Horseman.
Never watched it.
Yeah, you've tried to get me into it, but
It's one that you need to find like the month where it's like, okay, I
Yeah.
can, you
I feel
know.
like that was like a late night one when I was younger. I think I tried to turn on a few times and just never got behind it.
I never watched it until like maybe a year and a half ago, and since then I think I've watched it all the way through like 3 times. It's so basically BoJack Horseman. He's voiced by Will Arnett. You know who Will Arnett is? He's
Familiar?
Yeah, okay. Anyway, just like a very like strong voice, like fits him perfectly. And basically he's like so he's a horse. and
it's like a washed up actor.
yeah, and it's like present day. It's like 2016 or 2018 or whenever it was coming out. But he was like the biggest actor like in the 90s. And it's just him like reliving everything, like just basically completely crashed out, like drug addict, piece of shit, but he doesn't know that it's like him causing all these problems in his life. And so it's like 6 seasons. It's pretty easy to just get through and watch, but it's like it's technically a comedy, but it's like full of so many like life lessons, and
It's
really good.
super dark.
It's very dark, but it's really good. And his roommate is voiced by Aaron Paul, Jesse Pinkman.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
very good.
I gotta
I'll-
actually watch that
I'll give it
one.
a spin.
I would give it a whirl. BoJack Horseman.
George, what do we got next?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, I just never thought
Can't
was
do
that
it.
No one else
funny.
likes
I've
Seinfeld?
tried. I've tried.
It's a classic. I'll give that to you. It's like a known
Statistically,
classic,
it
but-
is number 1.
Yeah, well,
Statistically, it's like the best written TV
Sitcom
series
of all time.
time.
You gotta watch Seinfeld, dude. It's so
I'm gonna
good.
have to
Like-
agree with Joe on this one.
I've
just
I've
doesn't
only
hit for
watched
me.
bits
I
and
got you,
pieces
Joe.
of it, like late night, whether we're like here still, like here at the office still, or like I don't know,
Dude, if
just
Tony
traveling
were here, if
somewhere.
Tony were here, someone would have my back.
I'm not saying I don't have your
No,
back.
I
just haven't
respect
watched
it.
it.
I
I
get
just
it.
haven't watched it.
I get it. That's a
respect
good
it either.
3rd round pick.
Yeah.
No, I know a lot of people love that show. I think it's really cool, the world that they build in it. I know all about like some of like the little characters that they have, the no soup for you guy, like all those little things. Like it's really cool. I just can't get behind it. I can't get behind that whole like era of shows.
Talk
like,
that shit, Joe.
What's the era?
It's like I'll just say
Friends
the names.
is- if you like Friends, I
King
don't-
of Queens,
Yeah.
Hey, let's chill out.
Seinfeld, like those. I can't do it. Just can't.
I learned from that era. I only like Seinfeld. Everything else is just
Like
trying to keep
NBC
up.
shows.
I'll get
Yeah.
behind it though. Like if it's on, like I have no problem with it. but it's just not my preference.
With the next pick, I'm going with a Chicago classic. We're here right now.
Oh, I know what it is.
Don't say it.
I'm gonna go with Shameless.
Damn, that was my pick. That was my
I think
pick.
Shameless was such a good show. Paints
Great
the
show.
city in such a great way. Shows so much. It's such a real show. All of the characters you fall in love with every season. I feel like you
So
bond
many
with a different
characters.
character. I think
Lip,
White Boy Carl is one of
Yep.
the greatest TV runs on a show. He was a phenomenon during that season. That was incredible. Lip's always
Oh yeah,
great.
that's your boy.
I do fuck with
it's
Ethan. Yeah,
right?
he's a great kid.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Great pick.
But then also, Lip also seeing where he's
Did you
at.
finish the entire series?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I think I've watched it 3 times.
I got
I
to,
don't think I watched the last season.
I got to like a certain.
The last
season,
season's
I kinda-
one of the best
I kinda
seasons.
stopped
But then
watching.
Jeremy Allen White going from that now doing The Bear
Yeah.
and like doing movies. He is absolutely incredible. The Bear is amazing. I don't know if anybody has that.
I was gonna put the Bear on my list, but it's like
It's too new. They're
it's
still
it's
going.
it's too new. But the Bear is like on track to be like in
Yeah,
that
one of those
conversation like best TV shows of all
Frank
time.
Gallagher, man, all time.
Dude, Frank
One of the
Gallagher.
greatest drunks of all time.
Yes.
That show just has a little bit of everything. It's really emotional. There are really funny parts of it. Great storyline. And it's fucking Chicago. So
Highs and
I'm
lows.
going Shameless.
Yeah. Did you ever go to the house like
Yeah,
back
I've
in the
driven
day?
I'll
by
go
it,
past it, yeah.
Yeah, I like sought out that house. I was going to school at UIC. I was like, where is this Shameless?
It's not that
house?
far from here.
It's super close. Great show, man.
Thanks,
Damn,
man.
I'm bummed you took that one.
Let's hear what you got.
Well, I'm going to have to throw Ozark
Here.
in there because that was my audible.
Oh, okay. You just
That,
redeemed
Big
yourself.
that was
snapper.
my audible there.
Big snapper right there.
I was going to go Shameless for my second pick, but the only reason why I didn't was just my emotional connection to Degrassi, but we're not going to talk about that anymore. We'll talk about Ozark now instead. It's crazy with that show because of how serious it is. I was, like, when I was going into it, I just kind of just put the show on Netflix. I think it was around COVID when I started watching it. And, man, that show is intense.
That's another one I haven't seen.
Dude,
Dude,
great
you would love it.
show.
Really good.
Really
I'm a fan.
intense. Right off the bat, the first, I think it's like the first or second episode where he goes to the bank. Like, that's such, he's like, you really expect me to go out there and say you're not going to let me withdraw my money? Da, da, da. I was like,
Yeah.
this is my kind of
Bro,
show right here.
Marty is one of the best characters.
Marty
of all
Bird.
time.
So good, Marty. What's
Insane.
his real name? He's
can't remember.
Is it
Oh,
Jason
man.
Bateman?
Jason
Yes.
Bateman. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yep.
he's one of the
Yeah.
Jasons.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like funny because he's like always in like funny movies,
Exactly.
funny shows, and he's playing such
That's
a
why it's
serious
so
character.
good.
And
Well-
I was like, he plays it so well.
Yeah.
Rude. What's
Rue,
Rue?
The blonde girl?
What's her last name though? What's that family's name?
her cousin's Wyatt
Yeah.
in it.
Wyatt. Come on, Wyatt.
Oh, Wyatt Morris.
I can't remember what episode it is, but she says
Langmore,
something.
the Langmores. Langmore's interesting bunch. Man, good show, Ozark. Very, very well written. I will say the one thing that does annoy me about the first season, I feel like they kind of fixed in the second season, is I feel like they like the color grading on it is super dark, and I always thought it was just my TV.
It's like looks overcast.
Yeah, it makes
like
it
very blue.
Yeah, it makes it look like a little weird. It's kind of hard to watch, but if you can get past that, great show. You would love it if you haven't watched it.
Their son was annoying too. I hate that guy.
Let's hear the next pick.
All right,
Great pick though. Ozark is
Yeah,
sick.
that was good.
I'm gonna go with Prison Break for my next pick.
Ooh,
I
you snapped.
was
That's
watching
a great
Prison
show.
Break when
Okay,
it
Joe.
debuted on Fox as a kid, and I didn't know that was filmed in Joliet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I thought
you
that was
snapped.
like the coolest thing. As I got older, I was like,
Didn't we
no
shoot a
way.
music video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony's
watching
the
the
police
trench
officer in
Yeah.
that video.
Joe's heating up right now, guys.
Yeah, they
But
filmed the
Prison
first
Break-
season at that prison.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, such a great show. Really intense storyline.
Joe's having an amazing comeback
They
right
built a they built a crazy world around just like I was very confused from the
He
beginning.
like tattooed the
that-
plans to escape
Yeah,
all of his
that
body.
was
Spoiler
so
alert,
good.
my bad.
I was explaining that to somebody the other day. I was like, and he had like this whole journey. And they were like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Dude, genius
You gotta watch
escape
Prison
plan."
Break. Yeah.
I gotta watch.
That's
it.
an
great,
older
great
one
show.
too. That's a sleeper.
Dude, and it's crazy. They like literally took a simple concept of these guys breaking out of prison, and that's only just the first season, and then they built a whole deep,
Yeah.
perplexed world out of that whole thing. Great TV show.
That was a
Great.
really good one.
Never seen it.
Pick Jeff.
I gotta watch it.
For my next pick,
Good
I'm going
guys.
with Wild Card. I don't think anybody probably had this on their list. I'm going NBC Dateline To Catch a Predator.
Ooh.
Chris Hansen.
Damn
Chris
good
Hansen.
show.
Can we do
that?
I don't see why not.
I guess it is
It's a good
TV
show.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
It
a
is
good show.
technically a TV show.
But man, something about you could just go back on YouTube
Have
and
you seen
watch
his
those
new
clips.
shit?
Yeah, he
He's
looks
still
so
going.
Didn't
different.
he get like sued or something recently?
No,
Like-
he's still making it.
He's just doing it on.
I don't want to
he's
get too
doing it on
dark, but I
YouTube
think
now.
one of the people he caught did something really bad to themselves.
Oh.
But I think
That's
just something
smart.
so beautiful about taking these awful people, putting them on TV and showing
The
the
one
world
guy
like
that,
this guy
that
sucks.
still ate the
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah, there's some fucking characters
Dude,
on
that
that
is
show too.
Chris Hansen popping out of the hidden doors.
Also, Chris
So what
Hansen-
are you doing?
One of the greatest heroes in American TV history.
that's an American
in real
hero.
life. He's
What-
going
what
on his
was
way and
his
he's stopping
line?
bad people.
I forgot what his line was. He had like the very.
So what do you think you're doing here?
Yeah. So what do you think you're doing?
Why don't you
here?
take a seat?
Why don't you take a seat?
Yeah, no, it's Why don't you take a seat?
Yeah, and remember in the beginning episodes, they didn't arrest them. It wasn't
Oh,
until
yeah, they
it wasn't until like I think a few episodes in that the police were waiting outside. I think some of the first episodes, like
My favorite is when they would
just
try
kinda
to they would
pulled
try to
up.
run.
Yeah.
It's like
They'd
no,
have to
this
People are
someone
getting
cop in a
tased.
ghillie
this
suit.
whole whole block is SWAT team.
Yeah, dude, the
You're
ghillie suit
fucked.
ones were crazy where they'd have like SWAT team
Yeah.
people like hiding in the bushes.
Jump out of a bush.
How do you feel about that stuff? Like kind of coming back now with like the Twitch.
I was just
streamers
gonna
and
say
all
like
Yeah, no,
there's
I've-
a lot of people doing
I've seen some good
like
ones.
that type of
Yeah.
content. Like they'll go to like Walmart and like
Yeah.
basically do the same thing.
You
to-
seen the one where the kid starts screaming in the Walmart, like, leave me alone. But he was there to meet like a 12-year-old boy.
You seen the
Sick
one where the
fuck.
dude like crashes his car?
Yeah, I think it's the same one.
That one's insane.
No, that type of shit is so, like let's get rid of all those guys.
Yeah, go get him, dude. Keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Get
keep
him out of here.
rolling.
get them out of here. Put them on YouTube.
Shout out Chris Hansen, the father.
Dude, he started.
Chris
this.
Hansen, national hero. I stand on that one.
Screw it. Trailer Park Boys.
Classic. Fuck, I didn't even think of that. That's so
I did
good.
not even think
Good
of that.
one.
That's so good.
I dressed up as
Classic.
J-Rock in high school for Halloween.
good.
Me and all my boys came as Trailer Park Boys characters. That's a fucking
That is
classic.
a-
Great pick.
Such a good.
Good era of television there.
Incredible.
Oh yeah, dude. Canadian master.
Canadian match.
One of my neighbors growing up was Canadian. He actually pulled up on me and my dad with like
In Nova
when
Scotia?
one of the first 2 episodes came out, he came with it on VHS.
Netflix picked that show up.
Oh, yeah.
pretty early.
Yeah, they kind of milked it dry, but
Yeah, they did like
They
4.
started doing
They did like
the
first
4
nine the first 9
movies.
seasons are amazing.
Started doing
So
tours
good.
and shit,
Yeah.
and specials and all types of stuff.
They did like
Yeah.
6 movies.
Yeah.
I think maybe not that many,
Hey.
but at least 4 movies.
The first 9 seasons are the best with I think it was the first 9 with the original director,
Yeah.
creator. Before he left, those are the best.
Good.
I love
ass
a pick, George.
With the last pick in the 4th round, I'm gonna go with Arrested Development.
I've never gotten into it.
Never got to watch
Yeah,
it.
I've watched a few episodes. It's good. I just never got
That's
fully
when
immersed.
That was an
I've been
NBC show, right?
Or
was it
That was
TBS?
that was like Jason Bateman's like first
Bro,
big thing.
Wasn't
right?
Michael Cera in that one?
Yeah, when he was a
when he was
super
very
young
young.
kid.
Joe, if you like Ozark, you would love Arrested Development because, I mean, bro,
Is there a
Is it
humor
like a
element
comedy
to that
version?
show? It's
the
like
Arrested
comedic?
Development,
Yeah, it's like
bro,
all comedy, right?
He's literally the same guy without all of the money laundering and we're running for our lives shit.
Yeah.
Like he has that same. He does
He
not
just has a
laugh.
bunch of dumb family members.
He does not laugh in the show. It's basically like funnier Succession, and it's like from like the late 2000s into the early 2010s.
It's in the banana stand.
Yeah, like, I mean, they're not gonna know what I'm talking about. But have you seen Arrested Development?
I haven't like finished it.
It's classic, super classic. But yeah, Arrested Development. If you haven't seen it, go tap in.
It's hard in the last round. There's so many things to
Dude,
choose
there's
from
so
here.
many that I want to say, like, just throughout.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that '70s show for my last pick.
Good pick.
Solid pick.
That was like 8th grade to 12th grade, every day, every night comfort
How
show.
many seasons of that were
Great
there?
comfort show.
Not
Like a ton, right?
Like 9, I think, maybe.
Takes place in Wisconsin, right?
Yep. They go to the Piggly Wiggly,
It's a Midwest classic right there.
Midwest class.
Yeah.
Red Foreman, probably the best TV dad of all time besides Randy Marsh,
There you go.
the GOAT.
Yeah.
But
Very valid.
yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, there's a lot of like sweet, wholesome moments that kind of like pull you back in to the show that you're watching, like, oh shit, like, you know, feel something. And it's like, it's funny as hell the whole time through. Like, there's a couple seasons where they're like, okay, like, you know, you guys can wrap it up. Like the first like 5 seasons at least, maybe the second. Once they got to like the second season, like after it was like an actual show running, it got really, really good. And there's a lot of classic moments. They tried to like bring it back with that 90s show like a year ago or maybe 2 years ago.
I watched that.
Damn, I want to watch that. That sounds interesting.
It sounded really cool, and I was really excited for it. Not great.
I didn't even give it.
I like that they brought back the cast.
No, yeah, they brought back the cast, and that was sick. That was really cool. Just, I don't know, you know? Sometimes you got to leave the classics alone.
All right, The Office.
That's a good.
Elliot was waiting for that one.
That's another one, just like we were talking earlier with Seinfeld. That The Office, I just never got.
I got
So
it.
the
The
difference
Office.
between Seinfeld and The Office for me is The Office I can just leave on the TV and just let it run.
Yeah.
Like, and
Steve
I'm
Carell's
cool with
fucking
that.
awesome.
I can do that with Seinfeld too.
See, I can't do that with Seinfeld. But I go into your office all the time. You're playing Seinfeld, and I'm let it rock out. You know, like it's cool. It's good ambiance.
Yeah.
Office, great ambiance.
I haven't even watched it in a long time. I just
You could literally watch any episode of The Office and just laugh.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
it's got it all.
I get it. I'll
Steve
accept
Carell's
that answer.
amazing.
Yeah, he's the best.
Best intro song for a TV show. Just
South Park has Primus, man.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's maybe not best of all time,
South
but
Park
it's really
can't
good.
trump everything, brother.
South Park trumps all.
All right.
I don't know. Huh?
Best
Drake and Josh
intro
is a
song
good one.
is Drake and Josh
Damn.
for sure.
That is a good one.
That's a
there's lot
good.
of
That's a
classics.
good pick, actually. Fuck.
My
That
next
was
pick has a
really
good
good.
intro song.
Oh, I want.
Jake's been saving this one.
Let's hear it.
I'm surprised this one made it this far, but I told myself if it did, I would take it. It's a childhood classic.
I know what you're gonna say, and it's got
I'm
a
going
great.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh,
Ooh.
I thought you were gonna say something.
I think as a kid, that was the one
Pandering a little
show.
bit, but all right.
That's a great show. That
That's
was one of the
a
shows as a kid that
classic
every
show.
single time I wanted to watch something, I could put on SpongeBob.
Yeah.
and
What's your
be
favorite
super
episode of SpongeBob?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like the
Maybe
one
the
about
one
the
where
Wake Up Sandy.
Squidward eats all of the Krabby Patties and gets
Oh,
super
yeah.
fat. The
Yeah.
Krusty Krab pizza is a great one.
Dude, I like when the
there's
one
so
when
many.
Sandy goes hibernating.
Also, there's just like
when they wake up Sandy.
that's
Yeah.
a good. All the kelp forest stuff's always great. I think also just aside from the actual show, like the movies were great.
The movies
Yeah.
were
The
amazing.
movies were
David
incredible. I remember
Hasselhoff.
watching it in theaters. Also, the video games. Battle for Bikini
Oh, yeah,
Bottom
yeah.
is one of the
Great.
best games of my childhood.
The SB 129
Oh, yeah.
episode where it's like past, present, prehistoric.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Bro, incredible.
For a children's TV show, it's so creative.
Mhm.
There's
Oh, yeah.
so many funny things in there, and I remember my dad used to always tell me that was like the one show that I would watch as a kid that he would get a kick out of, and
Right.
like as an adult, you could enjoy that show.
Facts.
Hash slinging slasher.
Yeah, there's so
Great
much
episode.
lore behind that show, and
That one.
Doodle Bob.
there's so Doodle
Yeah.
Bob's a
See
fucking
what I'm
legend.
gonna do.
You can go on and on.
There's a lot
Great show.
of great characters in that show. Oh boy,
That shit. I
Joe,
love
what
that
are
That
you
kinda
ending us
creeped me
with?
out.
Dude, it's a tough one because there's a couple of them that I could end us with.
This is the last pick, right?
Yeah.
Final
Hey,
pick.
Anything's
Dude.
better than the Degrassi here, man.
Dude, there's two that I'm really stuck between right now, but I think I'm gonna just have to go with Pawn Stars and end there.
I'll take that. That's a good pick.
Okay.
I actually love that
Great,
pick.
Not bad.
great show.
Chumlee.
I've been there before.
You
too.
can
That
learn
was, like,
so
really
much.
Cool. You learn about everything. Dude has an expert for everything, and I loved the spin-offs that they had from that show. There was like I think
What were
two
the
or three.
spin-offs?
There was Counting Cars was one of them. There was one about the toy guy, I think. And then there was a.
I didn't
third
know those
one.
were spin-offs.
Yeah, they're spin because
they're
Count
up.
Count is the guy that he calls. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna call my buddy, asking my buddy about that. Anytime it was a car.
Oh,
he
that's
called
how
him.
that show
He
got
was always
created.
he had so many
He
buddies to
always
call
had a
on.
buddy, man. That guy's got a buddy for everything.
I always like the like historical money lady because people would come in like, oh, dude, I found all this
Yeah.
money, and she'd be like, this is worthless.
Yeah.
And I'd be, oh,
Did you ever watch?
Let me call an expert. And they just come in
Yeah.
like, oh, this
yeah,
is
this is worthless.
There were-
this thing you just drove all the way over here.
it's
Yeah.
not worth
Spent
it.
the night
They're
before
like,
to
I
come
want
in
10
here.
grand for this. You're like, this is worth about
Yeah.
$24.
I mean, some
This
of the
means nothing.
Some of the pricing was a little bit outlandish, and then some of the stuff there, like there was the guy who brought in the Charizard and like everyone realized years later, like, and the value just shot up.
That was
and
probably some Chumlee shit.
yeah, he brought it in. He never. I guess it turned out that he never actually wanted to sell it. He was just for the show. So like a lot of that's the thing I hated that I've learned about the show as I got older was like a lot
they were
of stuff
faking
was
some shit?
fake. A lot of it's fake. It's all just for TV.
That's some Chumlee
That's
shit.
TV, man.
I'm just trying to learn.
I
That's
saw-
just TV, I guess.
I saw a
right?
post the other day, and there's no context to it. It was just like top text, bottom text with like a super like deep fried picture of Chumlee, and it just said generational geeker.
he's
Dude,
good.
he rules, dude.
I was stuck between Pawn Stars, honestly, and Cops, man. Because Cops.
Oh my
is
God,
a
you did not
classic,
say Cops.
Classic TV show.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what else did you guys have on your list that didn't make the
Dude,
cut?
I
had
was
some good
surprised
ones.
you
Should
did
we
not
do-
say
Joe just
Anthony
came out with the
Bourdain.
heaters at the
Oh,
end.
No
fuck
reservations.
yeah. Anthony
I was
Bourdain,
so
no
surprised.
reservations.
Bro, I just watched that whole shit for the first time, like all the way through.
That's your boy. You love
Bourdain's
So
a great.
good.
I
Rest
wish
in-
I could
rest
go
in
back in
peace,
time
man.
and put him in there. He's a
Rest
great
in
actor.
peace.
Also,
Another-
have you guys ever seen Most Extreme Challenge MXC on Spike?
No,
Dude,
but I'm
A
thinking
Thousand
now, like,
Ways to
Fear
Die.
Factor would have been a great one.
Fear
Factor,
yeah.
1,000
I
Ways to
had,
Die.
Joe Rogan shit.
Let's see what else I had on here. Beavis and Butthead.
Great show.
Cheaters.
I never watched.
Cheaters
I never
is
watched
fire.
Butthead
Oh,
on
Cheaters
TV
is
though.
so good.
Cheaters, great TV show. There's a couple of, like Anthony Bourdain knows No Reservations. Robin Big,
Yeah,
that
great
show,
Facts.
iconic intro. Also, Cops was the intro. I was
Fantasy
thinking of.
Factory.
I had Crocodile Hunter in here.
wait. Robin Big and Fantasy Factory were two different shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, two different shows.
I think Fantasy
Factory.
Factory was like more my age group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Robin
forget
Big was
Robin
more
Big is
mine.
mine.
Yeah, I grew up watching Fantasy Factory all the time, and that shit was so sick.
MTV2 was on a fucking tear when we were
Kill
kids, though, because they had
Street, bro.
that. They
Pimp
also
My
had like
Ride,
Pimp My Ride.
Cribs.
Parental Controls was awesome.
Yeah.
The Yo Mama show was hilarious.
Viva La Bam.
Yeah, they had some classics.
Wild 'N Out.
Jackass.
Viva
Nobody
La
said
Bam.
Jackass.
Yeah, no
Wow.
Jackass.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
never
that's
watched
weak.
the Jackass TV show. I only watched.
I was a
Oh,
huge
the TV
Jackass
show's so
guy.
good.
Um,
The TV show's really
I
fun.
had Loiter Squad on here. That didn't make the cut. I used to love that.
Did anybody watch 24 here?
No, I never watched
Nah.
that.
That's an intense show.
Did everybody watch Californication?
No.
What about
Very
the
similar
OC?
to Entourage in a lot of
The
ways.
OC.
The OC.
I heard it's really good. I've never
It's
seen it.
it's a pretty
You ever
damn
seen
good show.
The Wire?
I've not seen The Wire.
Wire's good.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of Snake Draft. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Please let us know what you want to see next. Until next time, I'm Jake.
I'm Joe.
George.
I'm Parker.
Boom.